Hello, everybody. It's me, Shad Polynerdic, back to talk about some TTRPG stuff. This is my Why You Should Play series. Whenever I find a new game, a new adventure, a new property that I think you should check out, a lot of times they're indie stuff. I think it's worth sharing with you to let you know these things are out here. You know, we've done a lot of solo journaling games, stuff like that. I've got a new one from Evil Hat Productions, Stewpot, Tales from a Fantasy Tavern. I backed this on Kickstarter or Backer Kit a couple months back. The book just arrived a couple days ago. I've had time to read through it. I really like the concept of this one. Throughout my life, the last 5 years of being super into TTRPGs, I've known a number of people who don't dig combat. They don't like the combat of D&D and Pathfinder and other games of a similar nature. They're really not into spooky stuff, like my cat. They're just not into the traditional crunchy roll the dice, kill the monster style game. And I'm always on the lookout for games that are like that fit what those people would like. Buddy, come on. There we go. Get in position. Come on. What was I saying before the cat got in the way? Buddy. Hey. Sir. This is that game. This game is very rules light. It's very role play heavy. There are some mechanics in some of the parts of the game, but they're not excessive. They're not crunchy, as you will. The game is about retiring from adventuring and opening a tavern. It's played entirely through these like mini games, which are like just different scenarios. Some of them have mechanics that involve a deck of cards or rolling some dice. But they are all, for the most part, focused on role play. You know, there's one in there where one player plays a bard, and they're telling a story, and the other player plays one of the adventurers. I would assume the adventurer they designed, and they, have a scene. There's a romance scene. There is a friendly tavern brawl scene, but it's not mechanically about punching each other. It's more about the social impact of a couple characters getting into some fisticuffs. It's a really delightful read of a game. Here, I'm going to only show you the table of contents. It starts with safety stuff. They suggest you play 3 mini games, you take a break, and then you come back and play the game that is how you build up the tavern. Because your tavern starts at a level 1 in a couple different categories, and then you build it up. Hopefully to 4s across the board by the time you're done. That's what the tavern rating stuff is. Holds, they do have safety tools in there for, if a scene gets heavy, someone does this, someone says hold, someone says stop, whatever, you stop. And then you address whatever the issue is after, a cooling off period. It also suggests after each game asking if the table needs a break. Something as simple as, hey, I need to go refill my water or take a leak suffices. When you make your character, you define name, nickname if you want one, whatever people call you. What kind of adventurer you were, as paladin, wizard, swashbuckler. There's a number of them, pretty much the standard ones. There's no limit on like lineage or heritage, so you could set this in any fantasy world. You could play this game in Galarian. You could play this game in Greyhawk, Faerun, any of the places you would want to play another game in. You make your character, you pick your adventurer experiences, 3 of them, and then you work together to make your tavern. Like, where's it at? What kind of environment? That sort of thing. Like, my thought right now is I've been homebrewing a world for a while, and I think it would be great to sit down with some players. Not even necessarily the players that are going to play in that homebrew world. Just sit down with some players. It's made for three and up players, and I would like to sit down with some players and make a tavern to drop in one of the major cities or villages of my homebrew world, because I think that would be amazing. It would be a nice little Easter egg for the players that played this game with me, and then it would also be just cool to have some player input on designing a tavern or two for the world. But you do all that, and then in that process you get a town experience, and the whole point of the game is to replace all your adventure experiences with your town experiences. You use your adventure experience in a scenario, you strike it off, and then you add a town/job experience. And then once you've replaced all of those, that's when the game ends. When everyone has replaced all of them, the game is over. And you play the ending the game minigame. The minigames listed there, you pick them. I would not be opposed to rolling for them, to be honest, but like you just pick them. Like, it's start of the game, you do the first game, which is the first step, and then you move on to the next game, which you could go straight down the list if you wanted to. You could roll for it, you could pick blindly, draw cards, whatever. However you decide to pick it, but the next player picks, and then the next player picks, so on and so forth. Every 3 games, you do wear and tear, which is where you build up your tavern. Every time you do wear and tear, you get to advance the tavern by 1 bit. This is, again, very all player focused. It's all come up with ideas from the player. It's very free form in that way, in the role play aspect of it. You definitely have to either be creative yourself or be willing to roll with the creativity of others, improv style. The way this game's set up, it is extremely rules light. Like it comes down to a couple of the games are like, draw a card, this will determine this, or whatever. Like the NPC side quest that's there under the first step, it's very much you draw a card, this determines the type of quest. You roll some dice, this determines the difficulties, if you will. Very, very streamlined stuff. I love it, though. Evil Hat has put out so many good games in their time. It again, not an advertisement, I should say at this point. I know we're 10 minutes in, but it's not an advertisement. I backed this on Kickstarter. I was not provided this book. I just am a big fan of concepts that step outside the norm when it comes to tabletop RPGs. Stewpot is definitely that. Thoughts are scattered here. Plus the purring cat needing my pant leg sunk his claws into my thigh a little bit there and distracted me. Evil Hat has published amazing games. Deathmatch Island, Thirsty Sword Lesbians, Girl by Moonlight, Blades in the Dark, Monster of the Week. I'm a big fan of what they've put out. The ones I have played and the ones that I've just read, like this one and Girl by Moonlight and stuff. Their work is fantastic. The books are all very well put together. They usually come in this size, which is smaller than the big ass Pathfinder or D&D size books. They just do really good work. Check out their website. I'll put it down there. Not where my cat is, but under the video. This game just seems delightful and fantastic. And as I said at the beginning of my 10-minute meandering thoughts on it, that I've known a lot of people that don't want to do combat. They either don't like it or they're just not interested in the violence. Like if they play a cleric, they just want to do like healing and stuff. This is one of those games that would be perfect to play with them. And before I wrap things up, I do want to mention there's recipes there at the bottom of the screen. I know thematically that transition doesn't match the the other visuals. I need to work on that. The recipes, one of them in particular looks delicious. Well, two if you count the cookies. There's a cookie recipe. There is like a spinach pie recipe, which does look good, but I would definitely have to make some changes because I don't like, I don't like gritty cheeses, which is like the kind you would put in lasagna, ricotta. That is in the spinach pie one. The gruel, Non's gruel. Which is a terrible name, but it looks delicious. It uses pearl barley. I think quinoa would be great in it myself. And it's got a couple different variations of each recipe, to make it a little different. And then the last one is another sort of stew that looks really good, but I would personally remove the peas and replace it with something else because I'm just not a pea fan. But yeah, absolutely worth getting your hands on it. I need to verify if it's available or if it's a pre-order because the Kickstart book, the backer kit book just arrived, so I don't know if it's available just yet. I'm checking their website for you, so you don't have to. Let's see. Is Stewpot available? Playtesting's complete. Okay, it's not available yet on their store, but keep your eyes out for it. I highly recommend it just from the read through. I think it's a great game with a great vibe for the right kind of people. And now I'm going to try to assemble some players to build a tavern or two in my fantasy world. So keep your eyes out for that too. Anyway, thanks for watching. Check out the other videos on the channel. We do a lot of video game stuff, but I definitely try to talk about TTRPGs as often as possible because it doesn't take but a look over my shoulder to see the love I have for role-playing games. So check out the next video. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe, Polynerdic, all the places. Check out Evil Hat Productions. Again, the link will be below. They do good work. I stand by them. I've backed a number of their projects, several Monster of the Week projects, Deathmatch Island, Stewpot here. I like what they put out. I believe in the quality of their work, and I highly, highly, highly recommend it. Until next time.